Alright, in this video we're going to cover a few of the apps on the unit. We'll start off with Tomtom Navigation. So if we just select the navigation app, Tomtom will load up. See, we're loaded up here now. This is your main screen. You can hit that, use the mouse here, go up to this search icon, you can select that, and then you can type in an address or something like that. You can also here add your home address and add your work address, so it's much easier, much quicker just to go home and go to work. You can just basically hit that little search bar and then it'll come up here, go home, go to work. So you can make it a little bit quicker. You've also got parking and fuel stations, restaurants, bars, I think. So yeah, you've got a few different options you can choose from that it'll search for you. Get back out of this. Alright, so down in the bottom left hand corner you'll have your options here. So just select that one, and then you've got your main menu with your options. So you can add your home, add your work. This way you can just go to a recent destination. So if you've been somewhere just recently with Tomtom, then you can just hit that recent destination and it'll come up the addresses that you've been to. Now we'll go across here to settings. You'll have map and display. So if you need to do a map update or something like that, just hit that map and display. Hit downloaded maps. Hit Oceania. Hit Australia. Now at the moment we're all good, our maps are all updated, but if you do have an update you'll see it come up there. You do need to be covered, be connected to a Wi-Fi network for this to happen. You can also have a look here. You've got a few different options here. The arrival info. So when you're navigating you'll have a bar across one side of the screen just to show you how far you are, or your remaining time that you've got before you get to your destination. So you can have remaining distance, remaining time, or both. Get back out of that. You've got arrival info, the route bar, so you can have it extra large. Show parking lots and fuel stations and stops and things like that. Rest areas can be turned on, so as you're driving, if you need to go to a rest area, need to find a rest area, they'll show up on the screen. Any toll gates and ferries and things like that will show up there as well. That's pretty much it for map and display. You've got routing, I should say. Preferred route type is on fast. You can have it on shortest, most efficient for consumption, things like that. Thrilling, yeah, that's cool. Didn't know that was there. Sounds and warnings. So you can download different voices. We will download James for you, which is an Australian voice. I'll just play him for a second.
You have reached your destination. Windows up, grab those sunnies and don't let the seagulls steal your chips.
So he's definitely Australian. You can also download a voice there. Again, you need to be connected to the internet, to a Wi-Fi, or using a SIM card to download any new voices. Don't need to really do much else in there. So we'll get back out to the home screen. This little icon, the mouse for you, this little icon here will just bring you between the two screens. So it'll show you a much higher view, or it shows you a better view there. And then you've got your sound button there, so you can just turn on alerts, mute the sound altogether. So if you've got the radio playing or whatever, the USB music or something playing, then you can just hit that button there and it'll just play the music. It won't actually play the voices or anything like that, or the alerts. So yeah, that's the Tomtom app. Now we'll go across to the radio. So fairly simple radio setup. Your arrows here and here will just manually tune to a next frequency, so it will just go across manually, and then these arrows down here will seek to the nearest station. I haven't got the antenna hooked up, but it will seek to a nearest station and lock on it. Now to store a preset, just say you've got 104.5 and you want to put that in preset 3 for example, just press and hold on the preset 3 and it'll store it in there. It doesn't matter where you are, you can store them in there. So you've got 1 to 6. Now you do have a band button down here. You can go through band FM2, then to AM. AM's the same sort of principle. Cross there, seek to the nearest station, press and hold to store a station in. Yeah, you don't really need to worry about everything else. You've just got, yes, a station search function, so it'll actually search through if you're in a new area, and automatically store stations that are in that area for you. Stop that. You got your EQ button on this side and settings there. Yeah, don't really need to touch any of those. This one here is just a local station setting. Don't really need to touch that either. But yeah, that's the radio. We'll go back to FM. Down, back out to home. Alright, some more apps that I wanted to cover. We'll start at the start here. So this is the start. Yeah, aux. We've got an aux. So if you've got an auxiliary camera hooked up, this is the icon that would use to view aux. Now, if you get no video signal when you connect up the aux camera, just press anywhere on the screen. Little settings icon in the bottom corner there. Just go to the camera tab, and you just want to change that to NTSC, PAL, or HD if you're using a HD camera. And you should see a picture pop up in the background once you've got it right. Now in the frame you can adjust the brightness and contrast settings of that camera so you can get it just right. So we'll go back out of that. Alright, the Bluetooth we've covered. Car mate you don't really need to worry too much about just yet. We'll go across, here's your EQ. So in your EQ or DSP, whatever you like to call it, you do have a fairly comprehensive EQ. I think there's 48 bands there. So yeah, it's pretty comprehensive there. You do have presets down the side here that you can see. So you can put it on rock, pop, whatever you like. Normal's just flat. Now surround sound, so this is just digital time alignment. So you can actually delay each speaker by milliseconds so that the sound actually gets to you at the same time. So the sound from the rear speakers will actually get to your ears at the same time as that front speaker. So yeah, you just do that by measuring. So yeah, if you put the measurement in from basically from your headrest to the speaker, put that measurement in there. Yeah, you can actually change it around. So put in here, you can a few other different settings there you can change. So bass boost, so that has front and rear independent bass boost. So you can actually crank the bass in the front or crank the bass in the rear if you've got better speakers in your rear, whatever. You also change the frequency there of the bass boost. So that's a pretty cool feature as well. Zone, so this is just your balance and fader, basically. So you've also got sub gain, so if you're using a subwoofer, you can turn that up and down there with an amplifier, and then the frequency that the subwoofer plays, so it has a low pass filter built in and a high pass filter. And then you've got bass filter, so this is a high pass filter, so this will filter out the low bass. So yeah, if you've got really low bass that you want to get rid of, they're distorting your speakers, you can just turn that up. We recommend somewhere between 40 and 80, 100 Hertz, 120 sometimes, depending on how big your speakers are. Yeah, so that's the EQ. So we'll get back out of that. File Manager. So File Manager is basically a file manager. It has, you can see the menu system here on the side. It has flash, it has USB disk, file type and settings set up. Flash is just the memory on the unit. So this is the memory, these are all the things, the folders that are on the unit itself. USB disk is actually the USB disk that's plugged into the unit. So if you, for example, download an app or something like that and you can't find it, you want to go to this download folder here, and it'll show up in here, and then you can actually install it from there. Yeah, you can copy files from the flash. Say for example, I've got nothing in here, just try and find something. Just say we want to go like this, so just tick this, just hit this icon here to copy it, and then hit USB disk and then paste. And then it'll paste it over to this side. So yeah, that's File Manager. Right, next one we got is obviously KS Sports is installed. Netflix is on there as well. Freeview FV is free to view TV, so free to air TV. We've got Immersive Manager. So Immersive Manager basically gets rid of that top notification panel in certain apps. So we set it up so that Tomtom and a few other apps are not don't have this top notification panel come up. So you can actually turn on the strategy. Say you want it on all the time. Select that, and then it'll get rid of it, and then your apps will be full screen. So, but we just have it per app, and then you just want to go to the per app settings here, and then all the apps that are installed on the unit are on here. So let's just scroll down. Let's just say, for example, just find an app, Netflix. So Netflix at the moment, the notification bar will come up. If you want it to go away, just select full, and then you can go back. So Netflix, and then Netflix will actually be in full screen there. You can see I'm not connected up or anything like that, but that's okay. So yeah, that's just how to do that. Now you got your music app. So this is music that's stored on a USB or on the unit itself. You can copy them over using that File Manager app. Just select this little tab here, and then you can select where the music is stored. So on my USB drive, so this icon here is saying it's on my USB drive. I've got Guns N' Roses on there, and then all your music will come up there. So you can just hit play. There. Select your music, and then it'll start playing. Change the tracks. So just hit that little icon there. It'll bring you back. Yeah, so that's the music app. Alrighty, in this video we'll just cover a few more apps. Go across here. Now QuickBook is used to set your wallpapers, your custom wallpapers. So what you want to do is you just want to copy your chosen wallpaper, your photo or whatever you like, onto a USB stick, and then just open up the QuickBook app. Let it go through here. Now it'll show up here as your photos. You'll see your photos or whatever you like up on here. So that once you see it up there, that's all good. You just want to hit the circle to go back to home. Press and hold on the screen, and then you open up that QuickBook app, and then you'll see the same screen pop up. And we've got a few background pics here. So you want to put a photo of, you got your car or something like that. So select this one. You can line it up and get it in right where you want it in the screen. Then just hit that little tick up in the corner here. And then you've set your new picture for your home screen. Alright, let's go out here, let's have a bit of a look across. Radio we've covered. Steering wheel, I've got videos showing you steering wheel, but I'll just run through again. Let's say you got to program your steering wheel controls. You just want to hit start down the bottom, and then you want to select, say we want to program volume up. So you press volume up on the screen, and then press and hold volume up on the steering wheel. And what will happen is you'll see a little tick come up in this icon here to say it's programmed, and you want to move to the next icon or the next function and do the same thing again. So yeah, that's how you program the steering wheel controls. Once you've done all your buttons, there's more down here you can go through. You can program them to whatever you like. Just hit end, and then that'll save it. Alright, so back out of that. Now you got your Spotify app. Theme, don't need to worry about too much. You can change the theme on the unit, but I wouldn't recommend that just at the moment. T-Link is your CarPlay. TomTom we've covered. Talk. So this is your OBD2 app. So to connect up your OBD2, I do have videos in cars, but basically what you want to do is you want to plug your OBD2 adapter in, and then you want to go back out of this and we'll go to Bluetooth. You want to go to that Bluetooth data service down the bottom here. Hit go and hit pair new device, and your available devices will show up here. Now if you're using one of our OBD2 adapters, it'll show up as OBD2. Select it, put in the passcode, I think it's 1234, and then once it comes up as a connected device, you're good. You can go back out of this, go across to talk, And you just want to go to your settings down here, settings. Now you want to go to the OBD2 adapter settings here, and connection type up the top there. Make sure that's on Bluetooth, and then underneath that you'll have Bluetooth settings, and you want to choose Bluetooth device. Now once it's connected successfully, you will see your device, the OBD2 will show up there. Just tick the little box that's next to it, and then you can go back again to your home screen. Now what will happen when it does connect is down here, just about here somewhere, there'll be a little green square that'll pop up, and that'll tell you that you are connected. You can go to real-time information, and you can set all these gauges up, and it's fairly extensive what you can do in this Talk app. But you can change these gauges. You can have them as digital gauges or analog like they are, or a combination of both. Yeah, you can have whichever sort of data you want. I won't get into how to do all that, but that's just the basics of it. Now you do have fault codes, so you can scan for fault codes. Obviously if you're connected, it would start scanning through and it'll show up any codes that are in your computer at the time. So yeah, there's a lot of other things you can do with Talk, but we won't cover that at the moment. Alright, so Wikicamps is on there. Yeah, there's YouTube on there. So that's about it for the apps.